Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashocyan Anvachochastvam Pragnavadamscha Bhashase Gatasun Agatasumscha Nanusochanti Panditaha. Now, Krishna started to speak to Arjuna in response to his lamentation. The first thing Krishna is pointing out Arjuna is that he is acting like a pandita, but he is not a pandita. It's a very polite way of saying, you are a rascal. Asocyan anvasochastvam tvam asocyan anvasochaha. You are lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamenting. Asocyan means that which is not, sochya means lamenting. Asocyan means that which is not worthy of lamenting. Anvasochaha, you are lamenting for that. Tvam. And then you are talking as if you are a pragna vadamscha bhashase, as if you are a very learned man. That means you are not learned. Pragna vadan means Arjuna's argument were full of scriptural quotations. He was quoting from religious scriptures, how if we spoil the dynasty, the varnashrama thing will be spoiled, and so on and so forth. You should not be killing the elders and gurus and put the women at risk and all these things. He was speaking like a learned man, but pragnavadamscha bhasha, say you are only talking. Why you are only talking? You are not actually a pandita. Because panditaha gatasun agatasumscha nanusochanti panditaha. If you are a real pandita na anusochanti, he does not lament for gata asun agata asun. Asun means our life heir. So the other way of saying a man who is alive and dead, Krishna very interestingly, he defines death also in this verse. If our life air is gone from our body, that is actually death. So that is called gata asun. So gata asun and agata asun. One who is living, one who is dead, gata asun. Agata asun means one whose life air has not gone from the body, that he is living. So either for the living or for the dead, na anusochanti panditaha, because it is a material body. A pandita does not work on the material bodily level. So, in other words, Krishna started to chastise Arjuna, saying, okay, for all the talk you gave and appeared as if pandita, in practice, you are lamenting for this material body, for their material bodies, so that their bodies will be gone. So this is not the sign of a pandita, because you are lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamentation. So Prabhupada here explained, the one important thing to note here is that there is something called walk your talk. Walk your talk means if you talk something, better you back it up with your action. Acharya means one who also puts what he says in practice. Acharati. If one is not practicing what he preaches, then he is not Acharya or Guru. There is one famous story about Mahatma Gandhi. One lady comes with his child and she requests Mahatma Gandhi, can you are a very powerful person and my child has this problem of eating sugar, too much sugar. Can you please, if you tell, he will listen. I'm not able to control him. Can you tell him to stop eating sugar? And Gandhi said, apparently, please come after a month. And then this lady did not understand. She said, okay, all right, I'll follow your advice. I'll come after 1 month. And then Gandhi said, please stop having sugar. It's not good for your health. And then they went back, and the lady came back after a week and said, oh, your words are working like a magic. And he seriously took to it and he's following it. But I had a question. What is that? You could have said the same thing when we originally came. Why did you wait for a month? Why did you ask us to come after a month? And he said, I myself have habit of eating sugar. So if I say something which I am not following, there won't be power in my statement. So I had to stop eating sugar for 1 month and then I have to tell him, because the power and the confidence with which I tell and I have to follow what I say, then it will have effect. So this is also why we say Acharya means whatever he speaks, he follows. Otherwise, one should not be accepted as Acharya. So the other thing here, Prabhupada explains, very interesting, is that what is actual knowledge? Because Arjuna appeared to speak wonderful knowledge from Shastra. What is dharma? What is niti? What is right? What is justice? Why we should not kill them and all of that. But there is a higher aspect of knowledge. Yes, that is also knowledge at one level. But Prabhupada explains in the purport, as it will be explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. It's a very interesting definition of knowledge. So real knowledge means to know matter. Matter means what? Bhumirapo analo vayu kham mano buddhihi. Ahankara. These 5 material elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether. This whole world is composed of this. And then there is a subtle matter, which is mind, intelligence, and our false ego. Man, buddhi, ahankar. These 8 elements constitute matter. And then there is a spirit also. This whole world, if you analyze, there is this matter, and then there is a spirit, the spirit soul, who is working with this matter, and the whole Jagat is working with these 2 elements, the spirit soul and the matter. And so real knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. So there is a controller of both. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadharaya aham kritsnasya jagataha prabhavaha pralayastadha. These 2 energies of Krishna, etad yonini, these 2 have their source in Krishna. From Krishna, both spirit is coming, matter is coming. So Prabhupada, one time he was giving a lecture in Japan. So he was asking for some logical arguments. So how there is God. And so somebody was saying, how can you prove with logic that there is God? It could be Japan or elsewhere, but the question was, somebody challenged Prabhupada, can you prove with logic that God exists? And then Prabhupada dismissed, oh, you don't know logic. And then this man, he became even more fierce. No, can you prove with logic that God exists? And again Prabhupada dismissed him. Oh, you don't know what is logic. And again this man asked, no, I want you to say and prove that God exists with logic. And then Prabhupada started to say, you see this nature? We call nature as Mother Nature. And we are all children of nature. We all agree? He said, yes. So there is this mother, the nature which is the mother, and then there is the child or the children. So the logic is that wherever there is the mother and the child, there must be a father, and that father is God, that is Krishna. There you go. That's your logic. Take it. And the whole audience started to clap. It's really that simple. There is Mother Nature, we all agree. Even the scientific background people, they say, Mother Nature, Mother Nature. And we are all children, and there must be God. That's our natural observation, isn't it? So controller means, the knowledge means to understand that there is matter, there is spirit. Matter is nature, spirit is the jiva, the living entities, and then there is controller of both. And that is Krishna. And then somebody asked a question to Prabhupada. They said, oh, sometimes people, they say, or how can God create all of this alone? We have not seen anybody who is so powerful that they can create so many things by themselves. What to speak of creating big, big universes and planets. And so Prabhupada corrected their understanding and said, so when we say Krishna, Krishna is not alone. When we say king, king is not alone. Oh, king has done all this work. He is not doing by himself. He has got many energies, assistants. And he gave his own example. Oh, I am Bhakti Vedanta Swami. I have this movement. I'm not alone. I've got so many assistants all over the world. I'm the originator. I'm the founder. But I'm not alone. I've expanded my disciples. I'm a common man. If I can do this, say, just imagine how much can Krishna do? How much can God do? He's the Supreme Lord. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. Anantarupam, he can expand unlimitedly. So this is how we should understand. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. God has multifarious, unlimited potencies. He can expand unlimitedly. So by his will, everything is happening. So real knowledge is to understand that. And Prabhupada also gives this profound statement in the purport. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, because he said, okay, by politics, we are trying to kill them, isn't it? It's a political war. But Arjuna argued, no, we should go above this politics and think about the importance of religious principles. The religious principle is the elder should not be killed, the teacher should not be killed, or the killing should not result in damaging Varnashrama. So Arjuna put politics here and then the religious principles here. But then Prabhupada brings up this wonderful point that Arjuna did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the Supreme is even more important than religious formularies. So there is politics here, there is religious principles here, and then there is knowledge of Krishna, who is the master of matter, soul, and that is more important than the religious formularies. So then that comes the question, isn't knowledge about Krishna also religious principle? Yes, it is religious principle. It is the highest religious principle. But in general, people miss out on that. People just resort to this middle layer of religious principles, which are nothing but set of karmakanda rituals. You do this kind of yagna, you get this kind of result. You go to God, you seek some kind of benefit, you get that. So these are all generally mistaken to be highest principles of religion. Whereas the highest principle of religion Krishna gives is Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. The highest principle of religion is to surrender to Krishna. That is the highest principle. But people who do not understand that, they follow the lower religious principles, by which they think that is all in all. If I do that, I don't have to worry. It is like sometimes we play when we were children. I'm sure all of you played. Sometimes I see kids playing. So you start to run and catch people, right? The tagging game. And the player who is not as fast and a little smaller, the moment you go towards him and try to catch, and they say, no, I'm a banana in this game. Banana means he is not a real player. So he wants to play the game, but when he is about to get caught, he says, no, I'm not part of the game. So like that, so people may wear the tag of I'm just, this religious, I'm following this religion, but actually it won't help. They are really not part of religion. Because just by wearing the tag, you're not, just by playing the game, you are not playing the game, because merely playing the game doesn't actually make you part of the game. It's like, so I was teaching the kids yesterday in one class. So I was showing them this two pictures of lions in the jungle, one on top of the other. So in one picture, this lion is in the zoo, and on the bottom picture, this lion is free. It's in the jungle. It's free. On the top picture, somebody put a nice comment saying, you may get free food, free security, and free insurance, free everything, isn't it? The lion in the jungle gets free food, free housing, free shelter, and free security. 24 hours there is security in the zoo. But it is still bound. There is no freedom. Whereas the lion in the jungle, it doesn't have free food, free security, nothing. But still it is free. It is roaming free, it is happy. So what is the difference? The difference is that if you become trapped by, the analogy is that if you become trapped by sense gratification, oh, I can enjoy this world freely. Oh, this is there for my enjoyment. And then you become bound by it. Like this cell phone. No, yes, cell phone I can just watch everything that is possible. Like people give free data, the companies give free data, free Wi-Fi, whatever, right? Whatever facilities you have available, you freely try to enjoy and you become bound by it. So Bhagavad Gita says, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. If you fall trap for the so-called free sense enjoyment, it's available, I will enjoy my senses. But it is going to cause you misery, just like this lion got bound by these so-called free things. Of course, the lion didn't want, it's put in the zoo by getting captured. But the living being voluntarily goes to the cell, the jail. by going after these things. Samsparshaja bhoga, the so-called bhoga of sense enjoyment. Whereas the real freedom is not getting bound by the sense enjoyment, but giving up our attachment to sense enjoyment and go to the open, free world of Krishna consciousness, where we can really enjoy the happiness. Brahma Saukhyam tu Anantam. There is unlimited, just like the free lion is roaming around the jungle, unlimited jungle. So the open enjoyment is Brahma Saukhyam. So why I am saying is because Bhagavad Gita has these principles that is applicable for every spirit soul. The principle I said, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. If you get attached to sense gratification, it will lead you to misery. This is a universal principle. It doesn't matter you are a Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or whoever it is, whatever religion you accept. If you get addicted to sense gratification, it will lead you to distress. So this is actually science. So thereby the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of God in terms of who is the controller of matter, he is the controller of the spirit soul. This knowledge is higher than this so-called religious principle, because just by merely accepting a principle, it is namesake. If you don't actually follow it, like this person who has participated in the game, if you actually don't run, you will get caught. And then if you show, oh, I belong to this religion, that won't help. So there are some religions in this world which promise, oh, it doesn't matter what you do. If you accept this religion, when you die, you will go to heaven and enjoy with these beautiful women and so on and so forth. It is not science. Science is, it works on spirit soul. Everybody it has to work. As Bhagavad Gita says. It's not whatever you do, it doesn't matter, you will go and enjoy. That is not science. That is why Krishna says, Prabhupada says, the principle of spirit soul, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is more important than the so-called religious principles. And that is why Krishna is chastising Arjuna. Oh, you are speaking like a learned man, but you don't know how to lament, on what to lament and what not to lament. So Krishna is chastising Arjuna, which is the important aspect of a guru-sishya-disciple relation. And a true disciple takes it positively. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time, he was giving benedictions, he was revealing he was giving revelation to so many devotees, Mahaprakash Leela. And when it came to one devotee, Mukunda, who has been his childhood associate, and somebody asked, oh, what about Mukunda? And he didn't call his childhood friend Mukunda inside when he was displaying that Leela. The devotees asked, why you didn't call? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, I don't want to see Mukunda. And then the devotees became surprised. Why? What is his fault? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even though it is said that one should not mix with Mayavadis. Mayavadi means who say that the Supreme Lord has no form, no name, no attributes, no qualities, is impersonal and all these things. He always mixes with Mayavadis, so don't let him come. And then upon hearing this Mukunda, he was waiting outside the door, he became very unhappy. And then through the devotees, he let them ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he can come in again, or when he will be able to see the Lord again. And then the Lord said, after 1 million births. And then to everybody's surprise, Mukunda started to dance in ecstasy after hearing that. And then people asked, why are you dancing? The Lord said, after 1 million births. And then he said, yes, I may have to wait 1 million births, but he did say that after 1 million births I'll see him. So I'll see my Lord again. See his mentality. He was chastised strongly, but he took the positive out of it. He knew that it was meant for his reformation, and he accepted the chastisement, and he, at the end of it, he took the positive. Yes, I will be reformed. And then the Lord became very pleased. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard that Mukunda was happy to wait so patiently for his darshan, he immediately sent for him. And then he came and he warned him not to mix with people who are envious of Krishna ever again. And the Lord forgave his offenses. So this is the mentality a student should have, or a disciple should have, willing to accept the chastisement of the teacher or the spiritual master. And then what we should also understand from this verse is that we should not get affected by, just like Arjuna is getting affected by, material things. When we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we should not get affected by material level. Don't become agitated. Like one disciple of Prabhupada, he wrote a letter to Prabhupada saying, oh Prabhupada, your movement, there is discrimination. People have partiality. People have, because I come from the black background, so people always discriminate against me and all of that. And then Prabhupada wrote back a letter to him saying, oh, it is not good that we are differentiating. We are a movement not on the bodily level, we are on the spiritual level. And then Prabhupada, he also chastised him, saying, it is not good we are discriminating, or anybody who discriminates against you. And it is also not good for you if you become affected by that discrimination, because you are also thinking you are a black. So like that, this movement, Krishna consciousness, it doesn't work on the bodily level. It is a spiritual movement. We are all spirit souls. We are all parts and parcels of Krishna. It transcends the boundaries of anything material. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments, you can unmute yourself now, or you can post it in the chat. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.